Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the Morning Boys on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Season's not over yet. Still a lot of football to be played here.
Dispatch, what's the remaining Alabama football schedule?
Alabama's remaining schedule: Mississippi State, Western Carolina, and Auburn.
Mississippi State is a slippery adversary, okay? You never know if their quarterback's going to run it, throw it, or turn it over. You got to stay on your toes. Let's not forget the Iron Bowl, okay? Bo Nix is due to start throwing passes to his own receivers any day now. But if we're being honest, that should really be the game of the century.
I don't know why you're so upset. You're still going to go to the Sugar Bowl.
Just finish me.
So that clip right here, you just heard a little snippet of the next guys we'll be talking to, both Josh Snead and Robert Clay of SEC Shorts. You can find their work on Facebook. There's a lot of their videos there. Just basically some great parodies week after week of life in the SEC. That little clip there is LSU, an LSU fan burying Alabama in a ditch. And once the Alabama fan hears that their best hope right now is to go to the Sugar Bowl, I said, just ended, I'm good. So with that, Robert Clay, Josh Snead again of SEC Shorts. Thanks so much for joining the Morning Boys. Ryan, Hickey, Mark, Everett, Kelly with you. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing great. Thanks for having us. This is Robert. And this is Josh. Thanks for having us.
Great. I'm so happy to have you guys on. This is such a treat. You have no idea how much we love your videos. My fiance is an Alabama grad. She turned me on to them, and I have some really hard laughs looking at the things you guys do. It's so creative, so amazing. What's the process like? How do you start with an idea and develop it so quick? I mean, you get your videos out very quick.
Yeah, that's kind of the name of the game with us is speed. I think that's what kind of separates us from other people is that we, once the games are played, Robert and I will start, texting back and forth what we think good ideas would be. We meet early Sunday morning, 9, which I know there's not anything for you guys, but for video people, that's our noon. Mm-hmm. Or no, that's our 6 a.m. Sorry. So we wake up early, and we start to kick around ideas, and then from there, just once we get something we like, it just kind of steamrolls. Robert, if you want to actually tell them what the process is.
I think we're always trying to find what's going to be like the talking point on Monday. What are people going to be talking about at the office? And just try to slide the video into the conversation point to kind of capitalize on what the main topic is going to be.
Now, I think what everybody wants to know is, what's your ties to the SEC? Are there teams that you root for? I mean, I know I don't want to diverge anything that you don't want to let go, but do you have a specific team that you each kind of pull for, or are you just absolutely both neutral?
No, we have two teams we pull for very hardcore, actually. You wouldn't know it from watching the videos, but I actually went to Auburn, and I'm a huge Auburn fan. So when I make fun of Auburn, that's actually coming from the heart. We've had a couple of Auburn digs the past week, and then you're not going to believe this, but Josh, where are you?
I'm an Alabama fan, which you can probably tell because I have a winner's aura about me.
I could tell that. It gives that glow in your face.
Yeah, that's it. So that's mostly from being an Alabama fan. So,
but you were burying Alabama.
Graduated.
Yeah, is that bad karma?
What is that?
You were burying Alabama. Is that bad karma? You think?
Oh yeah, it's terrible karma. To watch a team beat your team and then you put on their jersey and bury the other team. I'm not a good fan. I said I am a fan.
Oh, okay.
But it just shows that everyone's got a price, and mine is whatever they're paying us that week for the video.
I do think though. I wonder why Robert wasn't the one in bed with the child with the monster under the bed. Since
Robert would never get in that grave and let us throw dirt on him. There's no way.
Not in my contract.
But I thought the one with the LSU, the monster under the bed, was hysterical. And you see Josh in bed with his son, and then the mother comes in and what are you guys doing? And are both scared to death, and they look under the bed and there's these highlights of LSU scoring against Auburn. It's so funny, and that's just the Zoltan thing was hysterical, and there's certain teams you just can't help but pick on, like Arkansas now or Tennessee. Survivor with Tennessee was hysterical. How many people do you guys have working for you?
This is it.
Oh, that's it. Wow.
You're talking to them.
Oh, wow.
You're talking to everybody on the team.
Is it hard to recruit people to do videos?
No, well, everybody wants to be in them because, it's kind of cool to be in one, but then you get here and like 4 hours later you're saying the same lines over again. We're getting a close-up, and then, we're getting the reverse where, you have to give lines to the other actor and stuff, and that's when people are like, maybe I won't do another one of these.
So we're talking with Josh Snead and
we
Robert
have
Clay.
we have contractors who we work with. Like we'll bring in like extra crew to help, and so like on the day of the shoot, for tax purposes, they'll be known as independent contractors, and so we'll bring them in and they'll help out. So we're not just like by ourselves for most of the videos. So there's some videos we'll have a big cast, and like Josh said, a lot of people want to be in them, but it's just kind of trying to find people who are a little more comfortable delivering lines and giving more performance. So we kind of have a stable of local actors we'll use too.
Robert Clay, Josh Snead of SEC Shorts, just some hilarious videos if you're a college football fan in general, not just an SEC fan. They're great making fun of and just kind of highlighting the biggest stories coming out of SEC week after week. So with that said, Robert, Josh, I mean, you guys, like you said, being an Alabama fan, you make fun of Alabama. You make fun of every SEC team at some point or another when they lose. What's been the feedback from fans? Especially me and Mark kind of started the show talking about college football, obviously, in general, the passion is different than pro sports, right? A lot of people have connections to these universities, either grew up or went there. And, again, that's what kind of makes college football different, just the passion the fans bring week in and week out, especially in the SEC, right? I mean, obviously we know the intense nature the fans have for their love of their team. When you are, making fun of a team's loss, like Georgia a few weeks ago or like Alabama this past week, what is the fan reaction? Is it mostly negative? Is there a lot of people, see the funniness, even if you are an Alabama fan or a Georgia fan from a few weeks ago in these videos?
Well, I think the key to sort of maintaining what we do is to commiserate with the fans and take kind of light jabs. You acknowledge that you lost and you try to relate to what it feels like to be a fan of that team, instead of just go after them and say, oh, your quarterback's terrible and, you're never going to win another game. There's different ways to approach it, and I think by just taking a kind of like a lighthearted jab at the team, it makes it a little easier to swallow for those fans.
Yeah, Georgia fans actually were really great. After we made fun of them for losing to South Carolina.
God,
we had
that
them,
was so funny.
Josh played Georgia. He had like a neck brace on and scars,
so
black
funny.
eyes and stuff. And Georgia fans were fantastic. They shared it. They got it. They related to it. Alabama fans for this week, I don't know so much. They're still a little in shock, I think. They thought they were going to win it, and I think they're a little nervous now about their playoff chances. So, but for the most part, yeah, I think teams respond really well. Tennessee fans are actually like our third highest fan base, which shocks me because we just make fun of them all the time, like nonstop. And now, they're probably going to go to a bowl, so king of the mountain for the old Volunteers.
The one where they're breaking up with the college football playoff. That was hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I don't know if they're back in that discussion yet or not.
Like, how do you come, like, I know the creative process can be difficult. An idea starts and then it develops and then you add to it and then the original idea becomes something better than was originally intended. As far as are you guys as equally creative? Do you one-up each other, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I think when we're doing the ideas, I think what we always try to start with is some kind of setting. You always try to find, so for example, the video this week where we have, Josh digging a grave at night and a cop walks up on him. I had always thought that would just be, a funny scene. Mm-hmm. I think we came up with that maybe, over the summer. Just, the setting. We don't know the teams. We don't know the context. But you just kind of write it down and put it on the burner. And so then when Sunday rolled around this week, it was oh, wait, that actually may be kind of funny if you put it in the context of what's happening now. So, yeah, so I usually will write the script together, and then when we get shooting, Josh kind of adds his own take, puts it in his own voice. And then, I'm mainly, normally behind the camera doing the editing and stuff, and then, yeah, Josh is on front, unfortunately, with that face. I'm sorry. But, yeah, so he's out in front. But, yeah, that's usually the process. Josh, you sometimes memorize your lines.
Yeah, lines are, lines. I mean, who really wants to memorize things? You want it to be open and free. And, so we a lot of times, so for this video, we waited till we got Matt into the hole tied up, and then we started thinking of jokes. So it was not very well planned, but, it worked out, I think.
I think my fiance told me over the summer you guys kind of put out a parody of of that you were leaving. You wanted to get greener pastures, and maybe we're going to another conference. And she said you got actually a lot of negative, like people were so offended at that. Did that actually happen, or is that just a figment of our imagination?
Oh no, that's true. We as an April Fool's joke, we pretended that we had sold our company and that someone would be making Big Ten shorts on the same page. In the picture of the guy in Big Ten shorts is just me with a mustache and glasses. And people didn't recognize that it was me.
Oh, my God.
And people were super angry, like, no, this page is for just SEC. And we lost, like, hundreds of followers.
Oh, man. Really? Like, people didn't see, like, that, like, they couldn't figure out that, like, your whole point of doing this was a joke?
Oh, no. Down in the South, we have a slower lifestyle, you know, and sometimes that goes along with an intelligence, too. A little slower on the intelligence joke-getting part. But, yeah, it was Josh with glasses and a mustache, and you would have thought we brought somebody in from Minnesota to come in there and just completely change the page up. So we lost a couple hundred followers, but we probably ended up we probably netted, I'd say, about 1,000 off of the whole gag. Wouldn't do it again, though, because it was just a pain. It was very annoying.
Yeah.
Like having to, for the next month, everyone's like, those SEC shorts guys. Oh.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Because we were talking beforehand, and up here, pro football is really big, and there just really is no college team in New York. Stony Brook just kind of started, and they're not really, nobody really takes them seriously. So we would, our idea would be to do something of the Jets, of the Giants. I would absolutely love to see you guys do a SEC shorts type version of the New York Jets. That would make my day.
Sam Darnold is not ready for both barrels from us, I think.